In update 48, Ninja Kiwis made Polyphemus an easier map. It used to be the case where a balloon would summon on one of the two sides and just go all the way around the map. But now, they go around the eye of the map and then go towards the exit, which makes their RBS a lot longer, but also it means that this map is now easier. So let us now do a run today on this map. Not 2TC, not 2 megapops, just a standard run. As you can tell, the balloons are now orbiting around the eye rather than going towards the track like they used to, which is honestly a very good change to this map because it didn't really feel like an intermediate map whatsoever. It felt more like an advanced map. Heck, this map is a lot harder than a lot of other advanced maps to begin with, but now it really does feel like an intermediate map. But what's the nice thing about this little eye is that you do get yourselves a discount with every upgrade. You get a jungle drums effect and everything has camo detection. Now before update 48 there was only ever one 2-tower chimps that was ever put on this map, and that was the carrier flagship and pop silent 2TC by Charles, which honestly just sounds really incredible of a run. Honestly, just getting yourself 2 towers and being able to try and make do with it on a map like this when it was initially much harder to try and complete. Now the aim of this video today is to try and get ourselves a Pop Sidon and a carrier flagship, but I'm not aiming to do the 2 TCs today that Charles done because obviously that would require a earlier update in order to do that properly, and I thought we were about to lose the round there. Let's go up to air burst darts. I also want an energizer as well to decrease the cooldown time of the Pop Sidon's ability. I forgot to have oh, I could have very easily not have the money required in order to open up the eye. That's one thing I really dislike about this map, is the fact that the cost to open up this eye goes up incrementally. So every time a round beginning with 6 comes about, the eye closes and it costs another 500 each time in order to open up the eye, which I think in some cases are really unfair for the player. I know there should be like a penalty when it comes to using this eye for all of the game, but surely 500 each time the eye closes adding on to the bill of trying to reopen the eye back up is, I don't know, a bit too much. Perhaps 250 is better, but maybe I'm just being silly. I mean, jungle drums and automatic camo detection, who can go wrong with that? But I think the thing that is most sacrilegious about this particular map is the fact that since the map's debut, the eye bugs present in this game have still not been fixed. So when the eye closes when you lose a round, sometimes you can't open the eye back up. Or sometimes when you open the eye back up, all of the towers inside have disappeared. It just makes for a little bit of a frustrating time because it is an element outside of the player's control, and when that is the case, then it's not really that fair, to be honest. Another thing that changed in update 48 is Brickle's naval tactics times. Both levels have been reduced when it comes to the duration of the ability itself, naval tactics, so it means you have to be a bit more situational towards when you're using naval tactics. Though thanks to this map's unique feature, it is open for unique 2-tower chimp combinations like carrier flagship and Pop Sidon, but also like Pop Sidon and Sub Commander. Oh, and also Pop Sidon and Pat Fussy, you know, the tower that only really scored a 2TC with a Wizard Order Phoenix because of a bug that made anything that's affected by Rallying Roar a normal damage type. But in that case, it is highly pivotal that you leave these barriers in place just so that it gives the Pop Sidon something to bounce off of and hit the same target again and again and again and again. Might just be me, but I think that Cornfield is a much easier map than Polyphemus, when Polyphemus was still a relatively short track. It still is kind of short, but I think it is definitely more fair of an intermediate difficulty than what it was, which I think is definitely what we can all agree as an advanced iteration of the map. iteration. We're going to get carrier flagship first before anything else, and that would just essentially mean we have two forms of increased attack speed for everything in the eye here. Number one, the eye itself, and number two, the carrier flagship. And the reason why carrier flagship and Poseidon is possible as a two-tower chimps is because when you place the towers in this eye, you don't have to go down the camo detection route on the tower because the eye itself gives that camo detection, which means you can do Destroyer with Hotshot, for example. Here we go, carrier flagship online, and the discounts also apply to tier 5 towers as well, but it doesn't do it with paragons. It's just a shame that the carrier flagship's darts from the planes no longer have the means of damaging DDTs, which is part of the reason why this tower is so effective for how much you're paying for it. Right, let's get plutonium reactor just to make our abilities just that tad bit, what do you call it? It doesn't take as long for them to cool down. But at all times we do have to be mindful about having a certain amount of assets left at the end of each round when it comes to, well, mainly it's going to be the rounds that end with 5 because you want to open this thing back up, don't you? And it feels like these sea mines that Brickle lays are not that useless anymore since the balloons now orbit around the eye, rather than trying to reach out towards a Moab class balloon because the little balloons are well outside of their hitbox detection. And unfortunately you can't get buffs on the carrier flagship's platform as while the carrier flagship itself is in the eye, which is understandable really because it's not literally on the surface level. I also think Admiral Brickle's level 5 is one of the most underrated buffs to a tower, even though it's temporary. It literally grants every affected tower temporary normal damage type. Let's see how we do on round 76 here. Oh my god, it was literally Brickle's sea mines that were keeping us alive there. Yeah, I'd say this map is definitely much easier to blackboarder nowadays, now that you've got the additional means of the balloons traveling across the map. I don't know, I'm not the best judge when it comes to difficulties, as you probably may know, but I definitely think that this map beforehand was definitely not an intermediate map, to say the very least. I'm not one to vex about stuff. That is a pretty sizable discount for the Poseidon, I'm not gonna lie. That is several thousands chucks off the price tag, because you are within this eye. I mean, that is definitely this map's unique feature in comparison to any other map. I suppose Ancient Portal also has these kind of buffs, and also even more of them as well. Like, I don't know, being able to have your hero level up faster if you manage to place it in the water. Like, you might need a ice tower in order to make a land bridge, or you can just put down Brickle or Pat. We're quite close now to Poseidon, but we've got 2 more eye closures in which we need to consider in all things. I would love to get Poseidon right about now, but I do think we need to hold off for the time being. Although, I don't think it will cost 5,000, but I will just wait just to be on the safe side here. I don't want to completely muck this up. Okay, so it's only 4 grand. That's fine. Poseidon time! Demigod, it's time for you to unleash that even more powerful trident of yours than the predecessors of you and get to work. Unless you are the predecessor and everybody else is the younger form of Poseidon being, well, the Arctic Knight and etc. Round 89 completed. Now it's time to face off against the Magpie DDTs, a new skin introduced in update 48. You can do wonders by combining naval tactics when Poseidon chucks out its ability. Okay, DDTs, no thank you. Get absolutely clobbered by the Poseidon and its default attacks. Okay, I think we're at that point where we can place down the Energizer, but will I get enough? You know what? I'm just going to risk it because last time I definitely did not risk enough. Lovely jubbly. Okay, round 95. We should have the money by the end of this round to open the eye rack. I'm always really concerned about the eye, for goodness sakes. The eye of the tiger. I'm not going to sing the rest of the song. Okay, this is looking a bit precarious here. Bloody DDTs and all their annoyances. So what else can we do on this run? Pirate Lord is too expensive, and I don't think we can get anything else. perhaps just a first strike capability submarine. 2 fortified UMGs here, not a problem whatsoever. Just like that, they go down, no problem whatsoever. Okay, round 98. Let's just lay out the ability first and foremost so that we can get that initial damage going. And thanks to all of these obstacles, like I said earlier, the Poseidon ability does bounce off of them, which is nice. Okay, this is looking very good. Very good. Okay, first strike capability. Let's get that. That will make round 100 much, much easier. Let's unleash hell upon these heathens. Let's use the first strike capability. Let's use that. Let's use everything that we have available here. There we go. And just commencing fire, and that is the run. Yeah, so a pretty easy time, all things considered. The only thing you got to watch out for when you're blackboarding this map is making sure that you have the money at the end of each round that ends with 5 and then begins with... So, that ends with 6 so that when the eye closes, you can open it back up again. So be careful with your resources, but that's not too much to worry about. So yeah, here we go. Just need it for the early game with a cannon ship. Poseidon is one of our stars of the show, carrier flagship, stealing it though with 900,000 pops. Brickle mainly here for support. If we got the Energizer a bit earlier, then perhaps we could have got to level 20 Brickle, but we didn't because I thought Poseidon would be safer to get first before anything else. First strike capability obviously for bad damage, and that's all good. Sometimes this is a very good 2 megapop supporting tower if you need something that is very good against the bad when it comes to chip damage. Thank you all so much for watching, everybody. Let me know what you thought of the video down in the comments sections below, and what's the furthest that has been gotten on Polyphemus chimps now that is a bit of an easier map. And like always, if you are looking to purchase something like Rogue Legends or the She-Ra Prestige Pack or Fast Track Pack or anything else in the store, please use my creator support code when you are able to do so. That is thoroughly appreciative of you all. Thank you all so much for watching, everybody, and take care of yourselves.